What's up, and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I'm Brandon Meredith.
I'm Dakota Waldridge.
I'm CJ Ewing.
Let's go. Hey, the guest co-host CJ, OC of the podcast, baby.
I'm correct. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay,
If someone don't come correct, he might not be the OC at his high school this year.
Let's go. Okay, listen. Okay, hey, we got two coaches on here that fire me up, man. We got Paul Mandeville of Doss High School, Doss Dragons, and we got our guy Marvin Dantzler from Central Yellow Jackets, man. Too excited to have you guys back on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's go, baby. Okay, and now this guy over here, the OC of the podcast is the guest co-host, man. And we just wanted to show you some love, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, I know you were in your feelings a little bit.
When?
Oh, shit.
Hey, at the GLFCA.
In my feelings?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When we just seen you last, you were like, what, you guys forgot about me?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's just all hard love, man. It's tough love.
I know. Well, you're back.
I got to keep you in check.
I know.
Gotta have a
Somebody's
little
got
bit
to. That leadership's taking his head. You know, it's even bigger than before.
Hey, the leadership role. I got to lead from the front, man. Okay?
That head can't get much bigger, buddy.
Let's go, baby. Okay, now we got to knock this out real quick. This is the session 2, the main event right here, right? So knock out that call to action.
Ladies and gentlemen, very simple to keep doing this. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this out to everybody because we want everybody to learn about these two coaches because they are amazing gentlemen and they are leading the youth, and we want everybody to see this. Plus, the more you like it and share it and subscribe, we get to go to more and more fun places like you may have seen already. We got a few places in June that we get to go to, but again, like, subscribe, and we all get to have some fun.
There you go, and knock out the housekeeping.
Dude, you didn't even give me any notes for housekeeping.
Hey, you know you got to do it.
We're going to Holy Cross's Golf Scramble. Going to be out there for that. I can't remember, July 12th?
July 19th?
The 19th.
July 19th. We're going to Boyle County, Hazard, Hoptown. We just had a Glasgow. I mean, we're coming. We're going. Out and about.
Out and about, baby.
All these Louisville cats get all of our attention all the time, so we're going to do some traveling.
Hey, we're show some love to the state.
See some beautiful parts of Kentucky that we don't normally get to.
Let's go, boys. Okay, now listen, we're going to get to you guys, man. We're just jumping into the episode right now, man. I'm happy with this. Okay, but you guys got to do the one-shot challenge, man. Right now it's 1-to-1. I don't know if you guys know this, but we got the cornhole one-shot challenge, and you got to pick rock paper scissors. See who you guys pick. Yeah, you got rock paper scissors shoot. Oh, okay. So now now pick one. Pick
one of those two.
Oh, Brandon. Okay, so you got Dakota. Here we go, baby. So who we got? One throw. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Didn't even warm up, hit me like that?
Damn!
Oh, yeah.
Let's go!
Wow!
Woo! Oh! Let's go, baby!
Kenny's the tiebreaker? Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah.
Wow! Whoa!
It's on the board.
Oh, let's go! CJ! Let's go, baby!
Kenny, man!
This is a putt-putt ball.
I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach. I wasn't expecting that.
Hey,
Let's go!
Support, you know what I mean?
we are undefeated.
And this is live. So I'm embarrassed.
This is.
You got 2 days to tell you people to stay off YouTube.
Stay off YouTube. Okay, hey, if you guys don't know, that was Kenny Davidson. Hey,
Shout out Kenny, baby.
Shout out Kenny. Took what? Hey,
let's boo Kenny. Actually,
No, I'm shouting him out. I appreciate
he hit
him.
the grass.
let's go. Hey, the boys, the pack. We're 2-0 right now, man. Top golf.
Out of 3 shots right there, somebody who hadn't warmed up put in on the first one every time.
I know.
That's pretty wild.
Damn. Oh, let's go, baby. Hey, coaches, let's get back into the episode.
Now we got to talk some football.
But like you guys know, man, this is an open floor, podcast. This is the coaches show right now. If you got anything on your mind you want to talk about and anything to promote, go ahead and do that at this time. Just let us know what's on your mind.
I'm gonna let him go first, man. He's the.
Right now, we're just working in the off season, pretty much. conditioning, getting ready for July after the dead period, and then we'll hit the 707. But I'm excited. You know, it'll be a lot of, I wouldn't say change, but, you know, we've kind of been playing the same kids, you know, kids that everybody knows about. But I think they tend to forget when I got here in 17 through 20, you know, we was pretty damn good. You know, and as much as things change, they stay the same too. So, you know, we looking forward to that. Ain't nothing changing over at Central.
So, hey, and that's why you both fire me up, man, because you guys got that mental toughness, man, that you put into your teams, and it just fires me up every time. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, man. I told the kids back in January, like, we're not going to go backward. Like, we're going to go forward. So people aren't used to Dawes having that kind of, I guess, on the field winning, like, success. But I don't care about that. Like, this is our version of Dawes. So we've been working hard, but the kids have got to see the results of like what work can do for you. So it's not hard to push them. Like, they push each other really hard. For the first time, I've had kids now check each other. Where if you don't work hard on a certain rep, then it's not the coach, it's the player stepping in and getting on to you. So, and we don't have a full staff, we just don't. So for our players to step in and check people, it's what I want to have happen. I don't care about the win-loss record. It's the fact that they're being better men. Because that Dawes, like, boys to men is more important than anything else. So our progress of – they don't complain about hard work. Like, Thursday we ran 40-40s and no one complained.
True.
So 40 time 40s, and then we did squats afterwards. There was no complaints because they don't like to lose. So that's what we're doing now at Dawes.
There you go. And listen, CJ, since you're part of the Dawes program, you know, we're going to give you the floor too as well. You know, I mean, what you seeing over there at Dawes?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing. It's, you know, the players changed a little bit. We got some, you know, a different wave of kids coming through, but you know, it's at that early stages, but you can feel it. Like the program is becoming something, and the kids are wanting to come. I mean, it's crazy to me. I work a lot directly with the linemen, but they're motivated in the weight room. And when we first got there, the people not knowing how to do squats, never had to get that low before, never lifted weight before. And like, you know, today specifically, this morning, we were on the jammer and hitting the jammer sets. I had a kid go for 115 reps on to muscle failure, you know, and they're excited about it. It gets the other kids pumped up, and that's just a culture they haven't seen yet. And, you know, just you got to enjoy it looking back 2 years ago and being like, this, you never saw this coming, you know, and neither did they, but they love it. And it's only just going. So, you know, just like Coach said, man, we're taking steps forward, and we're never going to step backwards.
And in all reality, Dawes is not that far removed from being a really good program. Right before Hawkins left, I mean, that thing was humming and rolling. Hell, they were beating us. You know, Dawes isn't that far removed from
The
it.
dudes are there, you know. The kids are there, and they'll play for you. So, yeah.
And, of course, I know all about Marv over there. that man's always got a dude that's going to give you a headache.
Exactly.
And we do have a special coach in the house, and it's Kenny Davidson. Come up, Coach. Come up. Come on, man. Come on. No, we want to talk. We want to talk about. No, right there. Stay right there, Coach.
You might want to redeem yourself and, you know, maybe shout out what you guys are doing.
That was pretty bad. You got to do something, though. I understand that I did not have a warm-up, so it was just off the rip. I wasn't expecting it, so
Okay.
that is not a real representation of Coach Kenny and Cornhole. Anybody can get it. Remember that. Remember I said that.
Okay. Now, Coach, you know, you're at Seneca. You know what I mean? Talk about your program right now, like the state of the program coming out of spring, going into dead period, man.
Well, in my opinion, the number one thing that we've tried to instill is a culture. Build our culture. Mm-hmm. You know, that's nothing against anybody else's culture that was there before us, but we have to establish our own culture. You know, and I told our players this just yesterday. I think that our summer was actually better than our spring. We had a really good number. We are short on coaches, but those guys work extremely hard. You know, I was just telling Coach Dantzler about Stephon Howard, my defensive coordinator, does a really, really good job. You know, Leander Peters, Dennis Sage, all those guys, William Curry, those guys do a really good job of not complaining about what we don't have and focusing on what we have.
I love it.
And you got to forgive me. Coach, I don't know you very, very well at all. Don't know you very well at all yet. I know this guy quite a bit. Where have you coached at before your stop at Seneca and then come back to you?
Most of my time I spent at Southern High School under Brandon Smith, Chuck Smith. I was also at Warren Central with Joel Taylor. I was with Marvin Dantzler when I first moved here in 2023, and I took away bits and pieces of what they've done. And one thing that the one thing that they have in common is they all did things the right way, and that's what it's about, is learning from guys who do things the right way. You know, my number one goal is I'm not worried about everybody else's kids or no other school's kids. I'm worried about the kids in my building. And my number one goal is to recruit our kids in the building. And that's kind of something that I took from all of those guys. They did a good job of recruiting their guys in their building and developing them. And that's what our number one goal is, to develop the kids that are inside our building.
Hey, coaching under a couple of state championship coaches, to put it lightly.
They know more than they know more than a lot of people have forgotten. So they've been there and done that. So I'm just blessed to have been under some great tutelage from those guys, and I learned a lot from them.
I love it, man. And Paul, talk to us.
Man, I got my start at Male. Coach Wolf gave me a chance. He was needing a DB coach, and I was like, I'm your guy. So I didn't know much about it. I wanted to learn from him. I think he's phenomenal. He's not emotional about anything. It's just you're gonna do the job or you're not gonna do the job, which is like my father was. And I ended up going to Florida, and it was crazy. I got to coach 8A and 7A football in Florida, which is insane. But at that level, these kids are obsessed with football. The way kids here are with like basketball. Down there, it goes football, baseball comes second because you have kids that get drafted to play baseball. I coached a kid that went to the Dodgers in like the 22nd round. But, like, here, basketball just reigns supreme, and I get it. But I think we lose out on football kids because of that. In Florida, like, they just don't play basketball. It's track and it's football. And you have their special kids that play football or that play baseball. Mm-hmm. But I moved up here, coached against him in 2019. A great game.
So then I probably got some beef with you too.
When I was at Wagner, he was at Central, and we had probably the best team Wagner's had in a very, very long time.
I know exactly which team you're talking about.
Exactly, I do too.
I was telling him earlier, our kids were stunned the game was tied. Like, they couldn't believe it was tied. I'm like, guys, like, it's supposed to be this way. And we were so shell-shocked, we never left the locker room. You know, we didn't score anymore. We ended up losing, but, like, then I ended up going to Moore under Coach Martin, where I met CJ, and then I got the chance to come to Doss, man, and I think it was just like God's way of like, I've wanted my whole life to be a head football coach, and I got the chance to, the perfect time, the perfect school, and kids like Jordan Robertson and Nazir McFadden, like mine's the football part. I was supposed to be in their life, so that's the cool part. They're going off to college now. So I did my part with them, but I'm glad to be here. I'm trying to take football to a different level at Doss because, like, we can do that, but, like, we're getting a brand-new stadium. It just has to be people, like, believing in, like, the kids, man. 'Cause kids take off. Like, when you believe in these kids, they will take off. And if you don't, they won't. So, like, that's just the reality of it. You know?
I think God has a plan for everybody. I think there's a reason you came up, from the Bowling Green area. I think there's a reason you came back to Kentucky, got the job when you did.
He's from out of state.
He's from out of state, been around for a little while, but I think Central knocked it out of the park getting on Marvin Dantzler.
Grand Slam. Okay, and this is a new segment that we do here at Top Golf. You know, since coaches are here, you know, I mean, do you have a question for like Paul and Dantzler? Do you got a question for them? Like, pick their brain a little bit?
Well, the reason why I'm here is I wasn't here to be on a podcast. I come to support these guys. Yeah. So the question that I have for them, we talk a lot. I talk to these guys at least once or twice a week, and kind of pick their brains. I tell the kids, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Nobody stays the same. I have no issue with calling guys and asking questions. It might be something on schematics. It might be something on how do they run their program or how do they handle certain situations. Because I think as a coach, we always have to evolve. We can't expect the kids to evolve and grow and develop as players when we don't do it as coaches. So I think sometimes as coaches, sometimes we think we got it all figured out, and really we don't. So I talk to these guys all the time, and again, that's why I'm here today. We just support these guys because we talk all the time and we bounce ideas off each other all the time, and that's what it's all about. That's what the coaching tree is all about.
That's the brotherhood, man, and that's why I started this, is because I really didn't get to know a lot of guys. You know what I mean? I coached at Seneca, I coached at Doss, I coached at Western, Iroquois. You know what I mean? So I've been grinder, man. I've been a grinder. You know.
Just love getting your head kicked in.
Yeah, I loved it, man.
Tough places, man.
I loved it.
Tough places.
So just seeing Seneca here and just seeing Doss here and just having Dantzler here, it just means a lot, is because, you know, we're starting a brotherhood and we're getting to know, like, the whole community starting to get to know each other, and, you know, and that's what I loved it. That's what I just love about this.
I love the fact that we have that notoriety, that we've kind of done a good enough job. We're not trying to put any coach out, you know, in a bad spot with a bad question. You know, we're just here to let you kind of go on a riff about your program, and we all like bragging about our kids, man. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about,
that's what we
man.
got into it for.
That's what. Hey, but Kenny, we thank you very much for coming on, man. Hey, make sure you stick around. We might throw you back on here, man.
I will. Thank you all for having me. And again, I'm just here to support these guys because I consider these guys friends, and I really appreciate you all having me tonight. Thanks.
There we go. Let's go.
He made up for the cornhole shot.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, don't ask him to be a partner in cornhole.
Such a bad cornhole shot, bro. Like,
yeah, he didn't really have to do much to kind of go up.
Understand this. What I said, that was a warm-up. Anybody, anytime can get it if they want it.
Don't got his grease
I
out.
didn't warm up, and I hold my shot out, bro. Like, so like that's man.
Hey, let's go. Let's get back into the episode, and then we're gonna give you the floor. If you want to ask Marvin a question, or you know what I mean, just pick his brain a little bit.
Marvin, I've yet to really formally meet you until today, but I've had the opportunity to come watch a few of your games. You know, if it was a bye week or if the team I was coaching was out of the playoffs, I went and I looked at what I thought was the best game to go to, and I'd take my butt and sit down. The game, you had a great game at Boyle County semifinals a few years ago. It was a great game, and I really, you know, I went to a lot of Boyle County games, you know,
Gotcha.
but I had to come over and sit on that sideline, and there was nowhere to sit on the bleachers, you know, so I had to stand on the track. You guys brought a house, the band was there, the atmosphere was crazy. It was a great game, but I really tried to, like, study your demeanor on the sideline and learn. I like to learn about the position I want, you know, so with the staff that you got, the kids you got, the amount that you got in a situation like that too, you know, who do you lean on? Because the kids can lean on the coaches, you know, the players can do a lot of things, but where are you leaning on to, or you know, give me some advice there, how you handle that situation personally.
Yeah, that's actually a great question, because you never want to be a man on the island. That's never good for any coach, head coach, assistant coach, whatever. So I always tell the guys when they're in my staff, you know, you're trying to build a right and a left. Not to say that all the coaches are not important, but you do. I always have guys. When Kenny was there, he was somebody that I would lean on. You know, he's been on Brandon Smith was a great friend of mine. He's a guy I have a lot of respect for. And we used to battle because we played South Warren all the time. So I had a lot of respect for him. So, you know, get in those situations, who do you lean on? You know, I got Lonnie Odom, who's with me now, who's come over this year. And Lonnie has tons of experience. He's been around. You know, so he's a guy that I'll lean on a lot, you know, when things get, as you say, in those, you know. And then, of course, the more you coach, you know, for me, this will be year 26 as a coach. But, you know, I think it's 13 or 14 as a head coach. So you also lean on experience. You know, you lean on experience. And, you know, the craziest thing is the bigger the games, the calmer the storm is for me. Really? You know, I'm a little more intense in the games we supposed to win. You know, but, you know, kids feel that, you know, so they go as you go. And you never want them to be to the point where they're, you know, Paul did a great job when we was talking earlier about the game we had in 19, and he was giving the advice to and he was the defensive coordinator. He wasn't the head coach, but giving the advice to their staff on how to just keep the kids loose. And that's so important, because sometimes we make the game way bigger than it has to be. As coaches and the fans, but the fans supposed to do that, you know. But at the end of the day, we prep, we prepared, we supposed to be in this game. That's why we play the game.
That was a great game.
Great question.
Yeah,
that was Boyd County, man. It's
guys
always
14-0 at half, and I saw some of the coaches were really fired up with the kids when y'all were walking into the locker room.
Yeah.
Y'all came back out a completely different team. And, I mean, that remarkable play by Quisenberry there with a few minutes left.
Oh, man.
But
Yeah.
it was 14-21 with just 3 minutes to go in a game that it looked like it wasn't going to be close.
Yeah,
after the first
great
half.
kid, man. Him always joke about that play. I told him he stole a championship from me, But no, tremendous kid. And of course, I have so much respect for Haddix. I mean, we battled in the state championship, and I mean, you're talking about one of the best coaches, period. So anytime you go, I bring my A game. You know, it's a couple of guys. If you're in this business, not to say that some guys don't, but there's a couple of guys, I'll be lying if I didn't say they bring the best out of you, and Justin Haddix is one of them.
Yeah, you circle that game. I hear you. Appreciate the answer.
Let's go.
I'm very excited to go talk to Coach Haddix.
Yeah.
It'll be my first time ever meeting
He's
him.
tremendous.
I'm very excited about
Like
it.
going to a jewelry store.
Yeah, go to tours. Hey, now, Coach, do you got any questions for Marvin?
Man, so when you came to Louisville, what was the one thing you focused on as a head coach that I should know about? If I'm being
I think both of you guys have kind of already hit on is, being yourself. I remember I had a quote when I first got here, and me and Todd became the best of friends, but, people kind of probably took it the wrong way. But I actually said it out loud on an interview. I wasn't here to be the next Tosh Scoggins.
I remember that interview.
I'm here to be Marvin Dantzler.
exactly.
And you got to be Paul, and he has to be Kenny. And I think and kids feel that. And that's not a disrespect to anybody before you, but in order to be the best version of you, you have to be you.
I think you already actually kind of answered that yourself pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing our thing. I'm not worried about
Right.
Kenny did the same thing. I'm worried about the kids I got in the building. I'm not worried about all the external things. Just show up, be you every day.
Because I'm not gonna try to get kids. It's too hard. Like, it's so hard to play for us. It's so demanding.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna ask the kid to come to DOS and then he's gonna get catered to or think he's gonna get catered to when he's not.
Exactly.
Like, if people saw how hard we were on our best players, like, he was so hard on our better linemen, like, that's how it has to be. These kids are gonna go to college. Period.
The kids that want to be
So-
great are the ones that can take you pushing them that way.
Yeah, and,
Yes.
and I will say this, and I said this Monday. The growth that C.J. Ewing has had from a football coach from when I met him in 2021 until now is incredible. Like, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to even keep him around.
Exactly.
Honestly, like, I wish you weren't even on this podcast if people didn't. Like, I don't even know how, like, you got to keep this guy hitting away, man. 'cause,
Right.
Like,
We'll quit asking him to come out with us.
man, dude, because the kids love him. Because he loves them, and they know that. If you don't love them, they know that, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, they're not gonna do what you want them to do. Like, he's doing a great job, man. Like, it's incredible. His growth from 21 until now is unbelievable. Like, there wouldn't be Nazir McFadden without C.J. Ewing, and that's just what it is.
I love it.
And me and him are both going
I
to the
love it,
cookout
man.
July
I love
4th
it.
at McFadden's house.
Being honest, hearing that from your head coach, how does that hit you?
I mean, that just tells me I'm doing things right, man. I look up to the guy, and it was kind of like that from day one. He set a good precedent when he showed up, and I was already a year with those kids, and I saw the way I try to be a sponge. I try to be. Everybody uses that, but I really do. So I try to take a little bit from each person, and when he showed up, the way that he presented himself to the kids, and he really let them know, like, look, I'm gonna care for y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna be on your ass about it. I'm gonna be here with it. And I thought that was such a firm approach. But I was 22, 23 at the time. I wasn't ready to take that step, but I saw the way he came in and commanded it. And then you see the respect that the kids give him from it. I mean, I learned a lot from you, and I'm still trying to do the same. So I appreciate the compliment, but that just tells me I'm doing things right, and I'm taking the correct steps.
There you go.
We just don't get assistance on as often as we probably should. So having this rare kind of OC, HC, how does that add?
It's great. Coach, and we'll give you a floor. You know what I mean? Do you want to ask Paul or even Kenny or CJ? If you want to ask them a question, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, because I can remember when I was at Booker T, and, what do you think the biggest jump, both of you, from year one to where you are now? Because it's a lot of self-evaluation. And that's part of the growth. And I think you make your biggest jump in a program in that first year, because, it's the honeymoon's over. Yeah, and now we are who we are.
Well, he's one of the best, man.
I'm going to go ahead and go first, Coach. I'm going to say finding out who you can trust. So finding out who you can trust, the people in the building who have your back, which there's no problem with that, but people that you can trust, adult and teenager. And then you go from there. It's just all about trust. It's not about talent. It's about trust. And I trust him, and I trust the entire staff. But, there's some times where, I ain't got to be in the weight room because he's in there, or Harlow's in there, or Odom's in there. I don't have to be in there. And that's the best part is when you don't have to be in the weight room. And I've been a strength coach for 12 years.
Right.
But you trust people. Like I've told you, things take time. And over time, you figure out who's willing to put in, who's willing to soak out the towel and sweat.
Because there's so much time management to what we do.
Yeah.
So to be able to
delegate I don't care about how you feel. I was raised by a soldier. I don't care about feelings, man. It's about action.
And who's not going to let you down in the fourth quarter?
Well, for us, a couple of things. One thing that we do is self-evaluation. So I do exit meetings with every single player, every coach. Not only that, I do a self-evaluation on myself. Because, again, as I said, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Mm-hmm. So the first thing we have to do is look in the mirror and say, okay, what can we do better? What are our issues, and what do we need to do to fix them? The second thing is going to year 2, I think we've established, again, structure, discipline, our culture, how we want things done, and 95% of the kids have bought into what we're doing. The other 5% are no longer with us, and that's okay because, on the way in the elevator, on the way to the top, some people you got to let people off. Mm-hmm. So, and that's part of it, but at the end of the day, I think those things have helped us go into year 2. And, and that's not me. That is my staff. I tell anybody, again, we don't have a ton of coaches, but the guys I do have, those guys do a great job, and they work extremely hard. I can call Stephon Howard, my defensive coordinator, right now and say, hey, I need this done, and he will get it done. And ultimately, no matter where you're a head coach at, it doesn't matter. You have to have good people around you. That is coaches, that is players. One thing when I took this job, the first thing that I said I wanted to do was I wanted to have good men around our kids, good fathers, good husbands. I don't want guys in the streets. I want good men around our kids because I want them to see, what a good man is like and how they do things, how they conduct themselves. And I think going to year 2, we have a solid staff and solid young men, and we've established how we want to do things, and I think they have bought in.
Good question, Marv. Good question.
Look at that. Hey, you're gonna take my job, man. You're gonna take over the podcast, man.
I feel like I keep asking questions and I'm not asking enough questions at the same time.
Yes, I know, man.
Like we've hardly just kind of let them go.
But and this is what it is. This is the coaches show, man. This is Top Golf. This is what you get, man. When you come to Top Golf, you have an open mic. You have the open floor, and this is what we try to do for you guys, man. Okay, and
Dakota's got to have a question.
Oh, he's probably over there.
We haven't heard anything since he said his name at the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what's beautiful about this to me. I don't have a lot of coaching experience. The only experience I ever got was when I was at Kentucky State, and I was listening to them, and I'd help with behind-the-scenes stuff, set the practice, and film. That was where all my coaching experience ever comes from. But listening to all of this, it just shows you how much, especially here in the state of Kentucky, we've got some masterminds and coaches that know what they need to do and how to set that culture apart. Because at each of these programs right now, there's a culture that everybody knows and is set. Like Doss, for example. If y'all had an extra quarter, y'all would beat my alumni 100% of the time. I am 100% convinced with that. Spencer County, just to let you know.
I know.
Okay, just making sure. Dantzler, I think 6A schools are afraid of you. Let's face it. Central is even though you're a 3A school, everyone's they don't play like a 3A.
Ain't no damn 3A school.
Hey, I'm just saying, we all know what happens when you got a yellow jacket each and every single Friday night. Well, the coach. And Red Hawks, we know what's coming in the future with them. So, and there's so much amazing things going on. But I guess I'm going to start with this because it's kind of happening for all of y'all. You two this year, you'll experience it next year. What's it like getting these brand new fields and everything for you all? Considering, the practice fields you've all had to work with and do everything. What's it like getting the new facilities for you all?
Well, I've had turf before when I was in Oklahoma. The biggest thing for a head coach is it really helps, and these guys will find out when it comes to practice and things of that nature, because you don't have to worry about striping the field. I don't think people realize the disadvantage of alignment. So when you're depending on what scheme you run, so us having a turf field can take me back to my Booker T days. I don't know if that's going to be good for the people I play, but but now that we have lines, you can really spread it out, teach it how you want. Because when you're playing on grass, I mean, let's just be honest. I don't want to go out there and line grass every week. I mean, I got other things to do. So you kind of get kind of vanilla in scheme, but we've been lucky to have great athletes. But now with those lines, you get into these zone coverages and blitzes and stuff like that. I got some things for some people coming up.
Boy. That's scary to hear.
Whoa, let's
What I'll say
go.
after that.
I don't know, man. He had a good question, but he just cut a promo.
Whoa.
That might make a hype video somewhere.
Let's go.
Well, for us, honestly, it's going to get more like numbers out. So it's going to get more kids out. When you pull into our school, the football stadium is right. You can see it. Everyone can see it. And we need more numbers. Like if a school like Dawes gets more kids out, because my dream was when I was in Florida, no one played both ways. So I got to be somewhere where a kid played outside linebacker for 4 straight years. When that kid's a senior, it's a different cat. He's repped one thing for 4 years, and his power clean and all that. But the best part for us is the track. The football team at Dawes is a track team with pads on. I've made it very clear to Deuce, Jerryon, Tyler, if you're going to run the ball, you have to run track or you're going to block. That's what it is. So they all run track. So that's going to be the biggest thing for us will be the actual track part, because we'll have kids literally running track, and then the football field is right next to it. So for a school like Dawes, and unfortunately there's a few schools, I'm not going to name them, they ain't getting it for 2 years. So that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate, but for the kids more than anything. But for us, we get this nice stadium in a place where there's not a lot of nice stuff, man. So hopefully a few kids come out, because, I mean, he knows there are kids walking the halls at Dawes that are Division I football players, and they don't play football.
They don't even know it.
They don't even know it.
Yeah,
That's
what it is.
I've got something tied into the turf here. Could you imagine their 2 running backs both these guys had? With some turf underneath of them?
yeah,
I was gonna say,
Good
exactly.
Lord knew better.
So
The higher power is like, no.
obviously you all both had really, really, really fantastic running backs. What can we expect the next guy to take that load this year for both of your programs?
I can't speak before him, man.
Mine's will probably be more committee. So we don't expect another Cortez Stone to come through, but we've always had good backs. But we have a lot of, and I'm excited about the running back room that we have, because, like I said, we've always had good ones every year I've been there. But it'll be more committee, where Cortez was the guy. Like for 3 years, he was the guy. But this year, you'll get a dose of different. And the good thing about committee, you get different counterbacks. One guy might be bigger, one guy might be a little more shifty.
Got a thumper, got a little
So you
scat
get
back.
it makes your backfield a little more versatile when you get into it. But we're excited about the young guys. We have 2 good sophomores and a junior running back. That'll be pretty good.
Did your quarterback come back too?
My quarterback, the one that kind of crazy. The guy we started the season with, he only played 3 games, so we pretty much played with the backup the entire year. And went 8-1 with him. And then our JV quarterback, who's been working really hard, is going to have a chance to battle for spot 2. So we played last year. I honestly believe if our quarterback doesn't get hurt against Manual, we go 15-0.
I noticed there was a difference just on the games that I got to see.
Right.
Yeah, and for us, man, like I mentioned earlier, them 3 kids run track. So Jerryon Woods, Tyler Martin, Destin Lindsay, all 3 different guys. Tyler's more of a bruiser. Jerryon's a combo guy, and Destin can fly. He probably hit 23 miles an hour last week.
Nice.
Smaller kid, more of like a Percy Harvin type of a very poor man's Percy Harvin, but his top end speed is different. It's Florida like
that's moving
rabbit like top end speed, and then Davion Horton's gonna be our starting quarterback. We'll be able to have more quarterback runs now. We couldn't do that last year. Last year, if I didn't get the ball to Jordan, I'd be a fool. So now we have 4 or 5 guys, and we'll be able to throw the ball more. So last year, I almost love the fact that you know who's getting the ball and you can't stop it. That I almost enjoyed that a little bit too much.
One of the funny things people didn't realize, Cortez could throw the ball a little too.
Oh yeah.
Saw that on film, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second play of the game, I believe, against
But
the
people don't get
state
this.
champion.
Jordan played guard as a sophomore. So sophomore year, he wore number 50 and played guard. He played left guard. When I got to him, he didn't know how to hold a ball. So
Insane.
we developed him into this. It wasn't he didn't come to us like that. So that was great for us, and he was a great kid. He's leaving for college, I think August 6th. But that was, but everyone thinks that like he's gone, so now our programs and fell off the map. I enjoy that.
Yep.
Our players know they're being told that. So we have several kids that will be able to help out. You just don't know their names.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you don't know their names.
You get to have that underdog mentality every week.
Yes, and there's something that we really like to talk about on the podcast, and this is the schedule. Okay, now I sent a text last night to the boys. You know what I mean, Dakota and Brandon, and we sent your schedule. And we were picking it apart. We're like, okay, who's this? Who's that? What do you think? Now I'm gonna say we're thinking 7 wins. For you. Is that the expectations you guys have, is to make that winning record? Or do you say no win-loss record, right?
I just want to beat Southern.
Week 1, baby.
So,
let's go.
I don't care who we play afterward. It doesn't matter. We have so much time to get ready. Like, we're a 4A team. We open with a 6A team. So I don't care about who's next. Like, no one on our schedule deserves for me to care that much. And no disrespect to anyone, but this is about Southern. So if that doesn't go well, then for us, the rest of the season does not go well.
You gotta set the tone.
Exactly. So I don't know who we play second or third, and I don't care. It's about us beating Southern, and that's what this is. So.
Let's go, baby. CJ.
Marv, who you got?
Man, who I don't have.
That's the Central way, baby.
Yeah. I mean, we got Manual, then we go to Belfry, and that's going to be emotional because that'll be the first home game for them. And you talk about Coach Hayward, and Coach Hayward scheduled that game. Great, tremendous guy. So, we go there, and of course the history of Central and Belfry.
Yeah.
In itself, and then you put that into it. So, getting our guys just to understand what's going to be at stake when you get to Belfry, because they already have a good turnout, but we might have the whole town.
100%.
Exactly. So and then you get into that one, and then I think we got Butler. We open up at Butler at home, and Shawnee. So we're looking forward to the best of the West. We hadn't played it since I've been here. And that one there is not about the win and loss. It's more about the community.
Community.
A lot of people don't understand that. Why you play Shawnee, the same reason everybody else play their rivalry. You kind of get into that one. Then we play Bullitt East, and like I said, they always do a tremendous job. So we go over there, and it's always been good games, But Keegan does. They do a tremendous job at East, and then Covenant Catholic. We couldn't find it. We lost the team in the district. Thomas Nelson dropped out, so you kind of sprinkling for a game. We had a couple people that, They reached out, but then when it was time to send them contracts, I keep the receipts. So it's never up for debate. But, they'll say, we wanted to play Central. Don't tell that lie because I have to tell the truth. But so Covenant Catholic reached out right immediately. And so we get them, and they played they lost to Franklin County, and I'm familiar with Franklin County because we was in the same district. So I was excited about that. And then we get into our district play, and we open up district with Cal, and you know, they have to come back over there. I just like to get them twice at Central. And not have to, you know, I'm having a hard time winning over at that other place.
CJ, I didn't mean to cut you off, so you go ahead and.
You're good. I mean, we share the same mentality, man. I care about winning that first game, and I mean, I've glanced at the schedule. I know the teams that are on it, but like, there's no other like effort being put in on later dates. I'm worried about winning that first game. My group specifically, we've watched film on that game from last year several times. Like that's the one that matters. So the record would go.
I think that'd be huge for you guys too.
Yeah,
Going 1-0
yeah.
there.
You know, and you talked about, you know, Coach Haywood. And we lost Coach up north. Trosper. You know what I mean? And the effects of you know, the effects that you guys have on kids. You know what I mean? Talk a little about that, man. Being called coach. You know what I mean? From a guy that you coached maybe 20 years ago. You know, talk about that.
Well, you're always the coach. I mean, I've been around it long enough to understand. Like we're talking 30-year-old man. You know, and you always coach to them. And, you know, and when you come around, they kind of get back in that high school mode, you know, no matter what their age is. But he mentioned it earlier. At the end of the day, you know, the wins and losses, the longer you do this, you realize the wins, and I always tell my assistants, the wins and losses take care of themselves. At the end of the day, it's about doing it the right way, and it's about changing lives. That's the biggest impact you're going to have. You know, because at the end of the, you know, you don't want to asterisk by anything said and done.
Yes.
So you want people to say, hey, everything he did was legit. Everything he did was validated. You know, and that's the way I always look at it.
I love it. Talk about it a little bit.
And like for me, so this is year 21 for me, and I've kind of had the full scale. I'm sure coaches experienced this, but I've had kids go to prison, and I've had that same kid's high school teammate be a Super Bowl champion. I coached both of them. And you can guess which one was more talented. So it's not about football, man. It's about the fact that we're dealing with a time of so many kids who have so much going on, and they can't handle it for the most part. So you have to channel that and find a way, like, to show them how to be a man, which you heard me say, like, it's doing things you don't feel like doing, man. That's what being a man is. Like, you don't want to do it, you're supposed to do it.
Yep.
That's what it is. But, like, you know, like we have some parents that, like, remove their son from that adversity. It's hard to coach those kind of kids because I'm not going to budge, you know. So I'm just trying to coach kids who are going to help out in the world, like really help out in the world. And that's not by hustling someone out of something or anything like that. So we were trying, like this past year, we had 6 kids from Dawes sign football scholarships.
Yep.
Hasn't happened since Hawk was there. So next year we might have 7. They have the grades and they have the film. That's what it's about. So if a school like Dawes becomes a miniature factory of kids going to college to play football. And like Coach said, the wins and losses doesn't really matter. It doesn't. You're developing people to be better men, and that's what we're trying to do. And the name of our school doesn't matter. Like people try to have, because what they see on the news and on Facebook, they think Dawes is a certain thing. It's not. It's a great place. And there's great kids there, and we're trying to do great things there. So we're trying to show that. It's also positive things on the news, too, from our team. So we're just trying to, like, have a different version of what people think Dawes is.
Build on the positives, cut out the negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, boys, this has been a phenomenal episode. Coach Kenny Davidson, thank you very much for coming on. And Paul, Marvin, thank you guys very much for coming on. This has been a phenomenal episode. And this is what we do. At Top Golf Episodes, man, it's the open floor. It's the coaches show, the mega coaches show, baby. I love it, man.
Now it's time to hang out.
Yeah, now it's just time to chill. But like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to Whistle podcast.